Hello, everyone. Welcome to Global Perspective, a podcast presented by Global Governance Institution. In this episode, we are very honored to have Ms. Anita DeFrantz with us today to talk about the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympic Games. First, I would like to introduce to our audience about Ms. Anita DeFrantz. And Ms. DeFrantz is a member of International Olympic Committee and previously served 2 terms as a vice president of the IOC. She was elected to IOC membership in 1986, making her not only the very first African American, but also the first American woman to serve on the committee. Thank you very much. Well, Beijing 2022 is coming up just next week. Ms. DeFrantz, I believe, is indeed the very person that we are like to hear from about her experience, her thoughts and expectations about this very exciting big event. Ms. DeFrantz, thank you very much. And we shall start with the questions.
Very good.
Okay, so first of all, with coronavirus, especially the Omicron variant at the moment, still surging around the world, the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympic Games will still go ahead as scheduled. What do you think is the most important thing or value that brings all the athletes and coaches across the world together to Beijing in this particular situation?
I call the Olympic Games a celebration of human excellence, and athletes always strive to be the best, to be the most excellent. And especially at the Games, they learn about mutual respect and fair play. We all know there are not enough medals to go around, and yet we live in the village. Well, not so much this time maybe, but sharing information from one another about our lives and what we expect after the Games, and sometimes we become friends for decades. I have some friends from 1976 still.
Wow. Great. So mutual respect and fair play are the key words, I guess. Thank you so much. And as you know, in addition to pandemic, politics and ideology differences also shadowed the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics. So criticism over human rights issues have dominated the build-up to Beijing 2022. For instance, the International Trade Union Confederation has claimed in the report that China should be awarded a gold medal for repression, criticizing Beijing 2022 and the International Olympic Committee for failing to address human rights issues in the country. So some countries are even set to implement a diplomatic boycott of the Games because of the alleged human rights abuses. From your perspective, from your experience, how do you comment on the political interference in the Olympic Games?
Well, I used to say politics is a spectator sport, but we are not politicians within the IOC. We have no remit to deal with governments, save for having a contract with the host city to make sure that they organize the games so that the athletes will have the best and fairest chance to compete and to fulfill their goals. That's what the Olympic Games are about. I'm so sorry that everyone thinks that the Olympic Games can magically make the world perfect, although I will tell you that the Olympic Village is the way the world we want to be, with everyone living there and respecting one another. And again, realizing there are not enough medals to go around, so many of the athletes will not go home with a medal. But there is that respect and that dignity that comes when you respect one another.
Yeah, the dignity when you respect one another. And also, I guess, it is very interesting that you describe politics as kind of, sort of a spectator sports. Okay, thank you very much. And so my next question is actually regarding, the athletes attending the Beijing 2022. So while the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games provided some experience and lessons for holding Olympic Games in a pandemic. Still, the coronavirus threat to this Winter Olympics keeps a very high concern for many people. Do you, particularly have some recommendations for the participating athletes, particularly in terms of safety and health issues?
Well, certainly keep up with the playbooks, which lay out all they need to know about what they need to do to compete at the games and so forth. And also, please listen to your chef de missions. They have the most up-to-date information, and they'll be able to lead you in the way you need to go to make sure you have a chance to compete at the games. But this is always the case where you need to follow your chef de mission. And since the Tokyo 2020 games, the playbooks really lay out all the responsibilities and requirements that you have while being at the game. So I don't know if you can memorize it, but pay close attention to that.
Yeah, and also with the closed loop policy, and I guess, I'm sure Beijing will make sure, everything will work out all right for the athletes in the village as well, I guess.
I've already heard from those who were there that the venues are just excellent. And the village is excellent. Of course, we don't get to do it the way we did it back in my day because of the pandemic, but I'm sure that people will have this opportunity to understand that they're a part of the world and they're making the world a better place by being there and showing themselves before history.
Yeah. And also I read some of the, the social media posts about how they are actually enjoying the stay in the village. Yeah, so that's great for the athletes. And finally, I think, for all the athletes from all over the world, they all share the Olympic spirit. So regardless of language, religion, and diverse cultural differences. So would you please share with us your understanding on the Olympic spirit, please?
Well, the Olympic spirit is deeply within all of these athletes. Who knows how long they've looked forward to this opportunity to compete. It certainly has directed their lives in many, many ways that we can't know unless we talk to each one. And this is a chance to show what they can do in front of the whole world. It's a little bit frightening to say it that way, but on the other hand, they're making history before our eyes. And that's, I think, why the world loves the Olympic Games. They see the successes and the not so successful athletes all competing. And again, a world at peace. I mean, where else can we have the nations of the world come together on a peaceful playing field and have a great experience no matter what happens to the individual athlete's goals?
Yeah, so this is really a very fascinating place where athletes, people from all over the world come together and really bear in mind one goal. So it is really mutual respect and fair play and fair competition, I guess. Well, this is really exciting event to look forward to. And also because I think when I read into your background, I realized that, you on many occasions, you talked about the equal rights, for women. So what would you like to say in particular to women around the world, to women athletes, as well as to those who are striving hard to pursue their dreams?
Yes, well, I'll remind the entire world, men and women, that we are all equally human. So why shouldn't we have equal opportunity? It's as simple as that. We are one race, the human race. We are all the same. Each of us is unique. Even identical twins are not identical, but we're one race. And we're all equally human, and we should all have equal opportunity to express ourselves, to go after goals, and to have a chance to meet those goals on a peaceful, friendly playing field.
Yeah. Well, great. Thank you so much. And, finally, I would like to hear from you about, the mascot. And so basically, I think through so many Olympic Games, and we've got so many lovely mascots. And how do you think of the mascot for Beijing 2022? For example, the Bing Dun Dun, the panda, the animated panda. Do you think it could help convey the message of Beijing 2022 to the world?
Well, the mascots are primarily for children to fall in love with and appreciate what they represent. And I think you got some winners there in Beijing with the pandas.
Yeah. So basically, this is actually a kind of way to nourish the love in sports, and try to get children interested in sports as well. Great.
Exactly. And the children are our future. And them being able to see this peaceful competition will make a huge difference in their world and our world in the future.
So hopefully, by planting a seed in your hearts, the children will come to participate in this, the world of sports, of mutual respect and fair play, I guess. Yeah.
That would be a wonderful thing to happen, and we need it so much in this world.
Yeah, great. And because you see, in like the day after tomorrow would be the Chinese New Year's Eve. And what would you like to say in particular to the Chinese audience across the world?
Enjoy your new year and make this year the best year ever. I know you have a very long calendar, and ours is very short in comparison, but just believe that the world can be like an Olympic village.
Great. Thank you so much. And I would like to send best wishes to Beijing 2022, and also all the best to you as well for the new year.
Yes,
thank you so much.
I'll see you in Beijing.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see you in Beijing sometime. Thank you very much for your time with us for the interview, and thank you for your wishes to Beijing 2022 as well. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me.